SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, in today's video, I offer you a T-Mobile network update. I'm going to tell you guys what they're up to here and, kind of like the hardware installation, what it means for the network, where you can find this stuff, and kind of like future looking, what this means for their network. All right, so first of all, I want to give a shout out to SpeedTech, the correspondent for the SMT YouTube channel here. He took this photo for me, shared it with me, kind of gave me all the details on what T-Mobile is doing here. So what you guys see is a small cell for T-Mobile. You've got a very specific location on this pole that I want to kind of point out, and that's right here. If you guys can see my cursor kind of circling these three smaller radio antenna combinations. Okay, that's the mmWave Ericsson radios and antennas. And these particular radios and antennas, the way this is set up is for a single frequency. I think specifically he mentioned N258. And when I looked up N258, I saw that the band was in the frequency range of 26 gigahertz. It actually goes from like the lower part of 24 to the mid part of 27 gigahertz bandwidth. All right, so they're broadcasting 400 megahertz of bandwidth, and it is on the NSA connection, which means it still is incorporating LTE. So unfortunately, unlike like kind of what we see with Verizon, where they have the SA NRDC, where it's all 5G, this particular band broadcasts along with LTE. No problem, just looking at the technical aspects there. And then when he speed tested it, he didn't send over a speed test, but he told me that he was seeing 1.2 gigs per second for downlink, but he was seeing up to 300 megabits per second uplink. So I want to kind of speak to this, right? The downlink, that's very unimpressive. There's nothing special about 1.2 gigs down on a mmWave connection. 400 megahertz of bandwidth is a lot of bandwidth. That theoretically should be able to provide thousands of megabits per second. So like well over 2 gigabits, maybe even closer to 3 gigabits, something like that. I mean, we see 800 megahertz of bandwidth on Verizon getting over 4 gigs per second. So it's kind of shocking to see how low that throughput is for downlink, but the uplink is pretty awesome. That's really good to see. The other issue is the ping times. He told me that all of his ping times, the latencies, were over 70 milliseconds and went even higher. So I'm not really sure what's going on there with T-Mobile's mmWave, and specifically, this picture is taken in Atlanta. All right, so the Atlanta market is getting some investment in the mmWave kind of solutions for T-Mobile, which is good. That this will get people off the N41 channels. This will kind of give you some offloading so that those midband channels aren't getting congested, which is great. And of course, in these types of settings in the urban core, you've got access to all types of high capacity fiber options, right? So there's a lot of providers nearby. Crown Castle, probably the builder of this site, and probably even the fiber provider of the site. And even if they're not, no big deal. There's probably 3 or 4 different fiber options there. But to kind of circle back around to this, it's good to see that T-Mobile is building mmWave. We've been looking for this. We've been monitoring this. We want to see more of it. We know that midband cannot be the only solution within these types of settings. It just can't be done. You've got all types of on-device usage for mobile networking. We know that the urban core also has people taking the fixed wireless access from T-Mobile, right? About 1/3 of their customers, that take FWA are coming from urban, the other third in suburban, and the other third in rural. So these are important things. They need offload, right? So this really can help. Target it, put it in locations where there's a lot of traffic, try to help alleviate some of the congestion you would see on the macro cells and the nearby rooftops to get off of N41. This really could help. So encouraging to see this gear is going up. It's Ericsson gear for those of you that were curious. Pinch to zoom, you can kind of see what it looks like. Interesting to see they're using the N258. In my market, they own 39 gigahertz N260, right? And that's a higher frequency, so maybe they're more encouraged by the lower frequency, propagation. The reach is probably a little bit better, right? Interesting to see they still have not deployed the SA configuration and NRDC. I think this would work really nicely with N41 together in an aggregation type deal. I still don't understand how the 5G leader is not utilizing NRDC technology. And then in the future, I think looking for improvements, the downlink should improve. Maybe the uplink can improve as well. And hopefully those latencies improve, because, you know, very typically he would show me speed tests of N41 with like very low teens in the latencies. So I'm surprised to see what I would consider to be kind of poor performance in some ways. But still, it is encouraging. This is a step in the right direction. This is a really big T-Mobile network update. If they continue, I think, to kind of familiarize themselves with mmWave, learn it, master it, understand it better, and then make it a more meaningful part of their network, I think this is huge for them. Anyways, what do you guys think about this? What do you think about the performance? What do you think of that configuration, that application? What is T-Mobile doing in your neck of the woods? Are you seeing mmWave from them? If so, which markets? Share with us your experiences on the T-Mobile 5G UC network. But go ahead and drop me that line in the comment section below. You all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Shout out to SpeedTech. Please do like and share this video. Go ahead and subscribe if you're new here, and turn on the bell notifications icon to never miss an upload from the SMT. We'll see you guys in the next video.